Hello, everybody. So, today on Wisdom Wednesday, by the way, welcome. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are coming here for a while, welcome to you as well. So, today I'm going to talk about full circle moments. And that is why I'm also making this video sitting here on my bed. Um, you will know why I'm saying that. Last year, 2024, when I started this channel, Memorial Day of 2024. It was 27th of May. And from then, every single day I made these videos. And for last entire year, as you guys know, it was very much just like journaling, right? And today I gave a presentation. Quite a few folks who come here, you guys know. So I did a presentation this morning at 1 Million Cups. It is a startup community, and I talked about my startup, which did not start as a startup, as you guys know. It started as a survival journey, which literally in the YouTube, you guys have seen it, and I mean, this is a full circle moment because not only after the event I got invitation to share it with other places, also I feel it in my bones, guys. I feel it in my bones to share this story in a bigger stage because um, people after the event, they said how this is giving them hope, and that is how I cannot tell you guys. This is how, like, why I decided, right? Like, when it was initially the survival journey and people kept coming, and a lot of you guys, as you keep coming, you know, you have commented, and I saw share every single week. And in a particular week, there was like 13 shares, even though I was not telling people to share it or anything, as initially it was like full survival. And January of 2025 is when I decided to go all in, and seeing that it is saving marriages and also it is helping people to find their way back to, like, feeling better and all of that. And I say that this is different from therapy. Therapy is not bad. Therapy helps you process the past and helps you to live a good present. But what I teach is very future focused. 80% is future focused. We help you to process the past. At the same time, we help you to design a future that is something that you always wanted. You couldn't or you didn't for whatever the reason. Maybe life is short, right? I have seen people staying stuck for years, 3 years, 8 years, 10 years, 14 years. I met somebody a few months ago. Um, those are also the reasons why I decided to continue on this journey, because somebody today, and this is not the first time I heard this, somebody today from my own Meetup community said that, for you, it was pretty quick. In 1 year, you have, changed from survival to reinvention. And I was telling him that the journey actually have not started a year ago. In some way, the growth and learning started many years ago, because I had 7 other startups before then, starting from 2012. And when I started working in corporate back in 2003, so it's 21 years of that and the startup. I lost my job several times, and now looking back, all of that, like the dots always connect. Something that I learned back in 2007, I'm applying in the business now. What I learned from prior 7 startups, what I learned. I have this proprietary framework, which is in the process of getting uh, trademarked. I first came up with it 7 years ago. I had 2 other YouTube channels and a lot of other things. Anyway, um, I had to refine them as life was unfolding. And the presentation was only 10 minutes, which is why I couldn't cover a lot of details like the framework and all of that, because you have to make it tight and compact so that people can go with the like real meat of the concept, right? What I talk about is igniting your inner coach, because in self-help industry, there is always that chasing, meaning we live between the high frequency and low frequency zone, right? So our time is the most valuable asset, but it's not the time, it's the joyful time. Nobody wants more time when you are sad, angry, and all of that, right? So what I teach is how you can find your own formula, because the life you have lived and the life I have lived is very different. The formula that works for me is not going to work for you. So I work with people just in 3 months, which is a compressed time, what I learned and worked through it in over 20 years. They say that it takes about 5 years and 10,000 hours to master a skill. So imagine that doing it in 3 months. So that is how like the framework, excuse me, help you to get there. But again, it is not all about you keep coming to me for coaching. The point is that why you have to activate your inner coach. An inner coach is the opposite of inner critic. You guys have heard inner critic. Inner critic is like, oh, you're not good enough. And inner coach is your best friend. Say that you're limitless. You can do anything that you want. When somebody else says it's great, but when you can say that to yourself, no matter what life throws at you, possibilities are endless. I literally say that the word limit exists only in our mind. There is no limit. Everything is limitless, right? So that is where you want to get to. Now, you know, coaching is something needs commitment from both sides, and which is why I do very selective coaching now. But if you are motivated enough to do it yourself, there are free tools, the YouTube and the book. Like I have one book and more books coming, and the Meetup community. If you attend the events, it's all of those will get you there. In 3 months, you will definitely feel the shift. You won't be fully there, but in 6 months, you will be like, who am I becoming, in a very good way. And in a year time, you will be a totally different person. Literally, my friends say that to me, and that is the point. I wanted to become a totally different person, a transformed version of me. And I live by those framework even today, and that's how I know that it works. And when I don't, I fall off the wagon. And so there are, like, I'll give you guys an example: small, medium, large problems. So small problem is like, say somebody cut you off when you're driving, right? You are driving, you are getting late at work, and somebody cuts you off. That makes you mad, and sometimes that kind of stays, and then you keep talking about it. It amplifies anyway. So that's a small problem. So how you can get that out of your head? And there could be medium problem when you are having bigger conflict with your partner, bigger conflict with your coworker or a good friend, right? This could be a medium problem that gets you going for days, not just, like little time. Um, and then the large problem is losing marriage, you know, losing your job. So for all of those, you have your own go-to formula that works for you. That's how you have to design it, so that every single time some little thing happens, you are not down here. And that's how you can maximize the time being here on the higher frequency. So anyway, for me, it is such a full circle moment, because there are many videos, as you know, if you have been coming here to this channel, a lot of you know that sometime I just sat here and made the videos that I was trying to just hold myself to the present moment, focusing on my breathing and God. And then I have to give the credit to God. So I believe in God. I'm going to touch on that a little bit for folks. If you connect with God, universe, divine, whatever resonates with you, right? When we believe something bigger than ourselves, and that all the steps are designed in such a way that it is for greater good, life becomes beautiful. Trust me. I'm in my 40s, and I grew up Hindu, all my life. And after things fell apart, I was following Buddhism for a few months. And somehow, it's a longer story how Buddhism became a good bridge for me between being Hindu and a Christian. So last year I became Christian. And there's a much longer story like how or why I became Christian. There was a lot of small miracles, big miracles that I cannot explain. Um, Many unexplainable events that there is no word for it. It's almost like God was showing me a sign. I'm like, no, I don't want to see it. God was showing me a sign again. I'm like, no, I don't want to see it. So it was that for me. But I'm not encouraging you to, okay, you have to become Christian. The point is, whatever faith, whatever you believe, whatever that higher power is for you, even for the universe, believe fully, completely, right? When you have faith in something way bigger than yourself, life becomes beautiful, my friends, and everything is faster. Trust me. Like today, when somebody again said that thing that I hear often, that yeah, my recovery was a lot faster, and I told him that it's been years in making, but I felt it was not just that. This time I was, you guys might have heard the word like they say, you surrender to God. And for me, it was that surrendering, of course, forgiving um, people who might have done something. And that was my path to walk so that I could fulfill my calling, right? So it's a different feeling when you get in that zone. And I did not plan to get in that zone, right? That's the thing. And it is so beautiful because when you Steve Jobs said this, right? That you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backward, but you just have to believe that they will connect. And literally, they do. They do. I mean, they do. The dots will connect. So if you are going through that difficult journey now, please know that it is for greater good. Something good will happen. Just trust the process, trust the time. I was talking to somebody after at the end of the event today that she lost her job, and I was telling her, like, um, this might be a sign for you that you can reinvent your life. Because I remember when I was going through the journey, each and every little thing, I felt like God was guiding me to go left and then go right and then literally, but I didn't know how far the light is. Like I was in a very dark tunnel, but I kept showing up. The consistency, I just kept doing what I could. And we can't be perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? So in the videos here, you guys might have seen I'm wearing something what I generally wear at home, and I just turned on the video and I did journaling. So today I'm wearing something nice and fancy because I that's what I wore during the presentation, so I'm still wearing it. Um, as I make this video, it's actually now around 3:10 p.m. in the afternoon, Wednesday. I do the Wisdom Wednesday, so I'll be posting it for tonight at 8 p.m. So I'm just filming the video right now. It is, I cannot tell you guys, it is a full circle moment. It is a full circle moment. And these are the little things in life when you it is so important also to celebrate. Some of you in this channel know I celebrated this channel when I was like I had 100 subscribers, then 300 subscribers, then 1,000 subscribers, and I know this is going to go beyond millions, 10 million, 20 million, 100 million. And people who think that I'm crazy, let them, because I don't. And this is another important thing I'll tell you. I don't look for any external validations anymore at all. It is between me and God. And for you, if it is universe, it's between you and universe. When you activate your inner coach, that is what I'm telling you, my friends. People who don't see it, their vision is too small. And trust me, today I had that experience after the event. There was some conversation I was having with somebody, and I'm like, it is so important. Life is so short. You want to work with people where there's alignment. They see the vision, right? And if they start telling you a lot of things that doesn't align with you, that means God has people in your life, they will come at the right time, at the right place, because I have seen so much of it that I cannot deny it anymore. I cannot deny it. So again, and it is kind of a little sad that a lot of places, a lot of churches, people have moved away from churches. A lot of my friends I know, because they grew up here. I grew up in India, right? So I didn't know much about Christianity. And many of my close friends, they moved away because in churches, it's like some churches has like this fear-based teaching, and for some it works, for some it doesn't. You do this or else you'll go to hell. And if that is the concept that is drained down like in their head, and they just don't feel like going. But there's so much good when you get closer to God, right? So I have seen both sides of it. I also have seen when somebody would try to control you, that you have to do this, that only that means you love God, otherwise you don't. And in my midlife reinvention community meetup, as you know, I talk about authentic living, and what it starts with is being authentic to yourself first. Because for 40 some years, I knew how it is to perform when you are trying to keep somebody else happy by saying yes. You're not being authentic to yourself, and that creates resentment, that creates sadness, and that means you are moving away from your soul's desire. And during the presentation, I was also saying that the gap in the self-help industry, because self-help has this mind and body. You work on mind and body, and the soul is sometime aligned and sometime not aligned. And that's why you keep going for more coaching, more seminars, and all of that, right? And I did that, and that's why I know. But the inner coach is when you activate that, your mind, body, soul, all in alignment. And that's why you feel so good. I say this, that the work that I do now, it's been over a year, so it's not a honeymoon phase. In startup, in the beginning, people may feel honeymoon phase, but I don't. I love it. My passion, my like when people talk about like your career being as your passion, I feel it, my friends. I feel it. I really do hope you guys look at it, your life, that if you had divorce, a job loss, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to design your life the way you always wanted. And maybe you couldn't because you didn't have a supporting partner or whatever that may be, or you didn't. Because ultimately it's all our decision, right? We cannot blame anybody. And what we say is, what I say is, we don't blame, criticize, or judge, because if we do, then if we are not accountable for what we did, we can never work on it. If we are putting it on somebody, that means we are not going to do work on ourselves. Next time we're going to find somebody else who we can blame, and that's not the right way of living, right? When we know what we need, we stand up for ourselves. And we as women, sometimes, a lot of time, I know women don't do that. So stand up for yourself. Even guys sometimes don't stand up for themselves, right? So why standing up is also important, because recently I heard something online. I think Leila Hermosi, she said that anytime you say yes for something you want to say no to, it builds resentment. And building resentment is not good, because over time, when that resentment grows, it blows out in a bigger way. Trust me, I know. I lived that life. So make sure that you do the things that makes you happy. I'm not going to dive too deep on the framework. If you're interested, go to my website, midlifereinvention.co. And as you know, like midlifereinvention.co and midlifemindfulness.co. So what also happened, by both sites will take you to the same place. As I was reinventing myself, that's where it started. Midlife Mindfulness is where it started, and midlifereinvention.co is where I reinvented, right? The business got reinvented. I got reinvented. When I say business, it didn't start as a business, and that's how you can see. I just started simply practicing mindfulness and gratitude, and that's where we landed. And this is such a full circle moment. I feel it in my bones, guys. I cannot tell you that I want to share this story and in a bigger stage with a lot of people, because there's a real gap. There is a real gap in the market for people who are going through after divorce. There's so much pain and suffering, and people are afraid to talk about their story because they're afraid of judgment, the shame and guilt, right? Life is so short. 100 years from now, none of us will be on this planet, right? We'll be dead. So so we can live life joyfully. So do that. Share this story with others if it helped you, and also keep coming back. And thank you. Bye.